Following breaking news spanning at least 2 counties tonight with a double homicide investigation underway in Callaway County. Good evening, I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. We've been gathering details for hours now. Things are still a little bit on the murky side, but within the past half hour, we have new details from the Boone County Sheriff's Department. It appears 2 suspects are in custody in Columbia, possibly in connection with a double homicide in Callaway County.
We go to KOMU8's Vivian Tran live near Fulton, where there's been a lot of police activity.
Go.
Hey guys, now I'm off of Route J in Callaway County. Now there has been police activity all around County Road 324, which is west of Fulton and near Carrington. Since I've been here, I've seen a helicopter overhead and deputies and blocking people from heading down the road. Police here have not confirmed anything, but we now know the investigation has stretched to Boone County. A sheriff's lieutenant confirmed the department has 2 people in custody, possibly in connection with a double homicide here in Callaway County. And Boone County is waiting on a search warrant for the Welcome Inn Hotel in Columbia right now. We have another crew on scene there. We'll keep you updated on the story on KMU.com. Reporting live in Callaway County, Vivian Tran, KMU8 News.
Gun owners would be able to conceal and carry their guns without a permit under a bill the Missouri House passed today. KOMU8's Amber Smith breaks down Missouri's current gun laws and how this bill could change this.
Gun owners in Missouri are currently allowed to carry guns in an open fashion anywhere that does not specifically restrict it. Under a bill the Missouri House passed today, gun owners would be allowed to carry their guns in their pockets or purses without a permit. You can barely make it past the door of the Missouri Capitol before seeing a sign restricting guns. But here at this same spot, the Missouri House passed a bill that would expand gun carry laws.
If you have the right to carry, we're not going to make you a felon because you put that firearm that you lawfully have the right to carry in your purse or pocket.
The bill would allow gun owners to carry their guns in a concealed manner without a permit in places that currently allow open carry. Burleson says current Missouri gun laws are often misunderstood.
So what most people don't realize is that today open carry is completely legal around the state of Missouri. It's never been illegal.
However, some representatives are worried about the bill.
I feel like House Bill 1468 is a very, very dangerous bill for Missouri. What it will do is it will allow people to carry concealed weapons without actually obtaining a permit, which means you would not be going through the mandated training.
The bill now moves on to the Senate. The bill would also extend the state's castle doctrine law by giving guests of private property owners the right to use deadly force for defense. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Amber Smith, KMU8 News.
Nervous, shaken, and on edge. Neighbors' reactions following a deadly shooting. KOMU8's Connor Smith heard the story of one neighbor who was seen moments after it happened.
But then I heard 5 shots, boom, 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 boom. And then I ran out to see what it was. I heard screaming, oh no, this is a little too close for home. I do feel scared and nervous because, I mean, it was less than 100 feet from my house.
24-year-old Gabriel Rhodes was shot and killed Monday night in Northeast Columbia.
I saw he was wearing like pants, jeans, Nikes, and a sweatshirt. I'm like, that's what my kids wear to school. I'm like, that could have been my son. And from there, I was just like shaky and scared.
Columbia police were on the scene shortly after reports of shots fired. This video from a witness shows officers taking multiple people into custody. Monday night, CPD said they had taken 2 suspects in for questioning.
It's like, that could have been one of my kids. It could have been me. It could have been my wife. It could have just been any one of us. And it's just makes you, with it so close to home, you feel vulnerable.
Connor Smith, KOMU8 News, Columbia.
Now, last night, CPD told us they had 3 suspects in custody at the scene. Today, we learned the 3 men were arrested and charged for a different shooting at the 63 I-70 connector. CPD would not say if those 2 shootings were related.
The Missouri House has voted to increase women's access to birth control by allowing pharmacists to write prescriptions. The bill would allow women to have year-long prescriptions after their first 3-month prescription. Representative Sheila Salone says the bill would reduce abortions in the state. Opponents argued birth control can have negative side effects and that women should visit doctors more often. The bill now moves to the Senate.
The condition of a Jefferson City woman is unclear after she was stabbed in the face with a kitchen knife Monday night. Jefferson City police received a call about the assault at Miller Street Park. Officers located the 23-year-old suspect, Kashay Davis, you see her here, who is now being held at the Cole County Jail. Police found a knife inside her car. We spoke to a resident about the frequency of violence in the area.
Crime's going to happen whether we try and prevent it or not. It's just certain people do their thing.
Investigators learned the stabbing was a result of a fight. Davis was arrested on charges of second-degree assault, armed criminal action, and unlawful use of a weapon. She pleaded guilty to an assault in 2012 and also has a pending property damage case against her.
Is more severe weather headed our way? Let's send it over to Kenton for a check of the forecast.
All right, Jim, thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. We do have a dry condition right now in mid-Missouri, just a lot of cloud cover, while this thunderstorms still are certainly over to our west. You can see that long line of showers and thunderstorms from Nebraska all the way down into central Texas, actually. Kansas City seeing some rain right now as well. That will move in eventually overnight, but it's a slow mover, so it's going to take a while to get here. Looking at how much rain we saw earlier today, about an inch at Columbia Regional Airport, half an inch at MU campus, and about 42 hundredths in Jefferson City. We're at around 60 hundredths in Sedalia, and right around an inch at Versailles. Hour by hour, again, that rain moving in after midnight tonight, closer to about 2 or 3 a.m. Temperatures stay in the middle and lower 60s by sunrise, and we're going to see some more scattered showers and thunderstorms by tomorrow afternoon as well. I'll track everything you need to know coming up later in the show.
Kenton, thanks. The Missouri Attorney General's office released a consumer alert today warning the public about calls demanding money. Missouri has seen an increase in phone call scams the past few years. The latest scam involves callers pretending to be IRS agents.
By the nature of the phone call, it's not real. If somebody is telling you you owe taxes to the IRS, then you need to talk to the IRS about that.
The AG's office says don't give personal or financial information over the phone. You call the IRS to double check their records, and don't wire money to anyone you don't know.
Just because the phone rings does not mean that the information that you're going to get on that phone call is remotely reliable.
If you receive a call you believe to be a scam, contact the Missouri Attorney General's office. Their number is 866-BUZZ-OFF. That's 866-289-9633.
Neighbors think a lawnmower is to blame for a fire that burned down a home in Jefferson City today. The neighbors said they saw smoke and then fire and immediately called 911. The homeowners got out, they're okay, and neighbors said the homeowners will stay with family members in the meantime.
Coming up, a woman driver is dead after a bizarre shooting.
And a simple box could save a life. The invention creating a safe haven for newborns. Here's what's happening right now. Another round of primaries, and it is a clean sweep for Donald Trump in the Republican race. Trump took all 5 states tonight: Rhode Island, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. Close to 100 delegates are at stake for the GOP. For the Democrats, Clinton claimed Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland, and just minutes ago we found out she also won Connecticut, while Bernie Sanders won Rhode Island.
San Francisco's police chief is speaking about a new racist texting scandal. Officer Jason Lay, who has since resigned, is accused of sending racist and homophobic messages. The messages were discovered as part of a sexual assault investigation. The police chief said today his actions are unacceptable.
As I have stated, but cannot overstate enough, there is no room in the San Francisco Police Department for anyone who holds these types of hateful and discriminatory views. It is clearly incompatible with the character required of being a police officer.
Lay was not charged in connection with the sexual assault allegation. His lawyer says the text messages are not reflective of who Lay is, and there's no evidence he acted upon them.
A Milwaukee woman died this morning after her passenger shot her, but that passenger was a child in the back seat. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says the 26-year-old woman was driving when one of the kids in the back seat got a hold of a gun and fired it into the woman's back. She was pronounced dead at the scene by first responders. An investigation is underway. It's a first in the nation and one some say could save lives. The first baby box was installed at a fire station in Indiana in conjunction with the state's safe haven law. The law allows mothers 30 days after birth to decide if she wants to keep the child or turn it over to authorities. The baby box at hospitals and fire stations will automatically lock and send an alert to authorities, who will then arrive within 3 minutes of the call. Still to come, complete coverage of the severe weather that hit the state today and what you can expect tomorrow.
The possibility, can't rule out an isolated tornado, but the other parameters are more probable. Otherwise, we're at 62 overnight tonight for a low temperature. Tomorrow, we're right back up to the upper 70s, around 80 degrees. And gusts could be up to 25 miles an hour at a few points until we see a thunderstorm roll through, which then could get a little bit higher, again with some damaging winds possible. Then we're at 72 Thursday, drying out for the end of the week. We're at 70 on Friday, and then still in the lower 70s this weekend, with more showers and thunderstorms more widespread on Saturday and then a little bit more scattered on Sunday, and then cooler next week, back into the 60s, but drier.
Kenton, thank you very much. And speaking of the weather, today's round of thunderstorms caused a house fire after a lightning strike. Boone County crews responded to a house on Route E when the homeowners saw flames coming from the attic. The homeowners were inside when the lightning hit. Firefighters say even though the fire was put out in 10 minutes, the response time could have been faster.
When this is springtime, and so we're going to have these thunderstorms rolling through quite often. When people believe that maybe their home had been struck by lightning, we encourage them to call 911 immediately.
Blumenkamp said there were no injuries and the house suffered minor damage.
While Columbia saw fire, Kansas City saw ice. The severe weather caused hail to hit the pavement. Take a look. We have some cell phone video. It shows the first round of thunderstorms as it passed through the Kansas City International Airport this morning. There were also threats of tornadoes, but no reports of any touching down. Meanwhile, here's a look at some of the damage caused by strong winds and rain today in Sedalia. Service crews are working to restore power to affected areas. The local 911 call center even lost power, forcing emergency calls to be sent to Sedalia police. A tree blew out of the ground, landed on a nearby garage. There have been no reports of injuries despite the structural damage.
Coming up, the latest travel plans for President Obama, where no president has gone before.
And the bell that sounded for years might go silent for a few months. Why London won't hear Big Ben strike.
Plus your lottery numbers. Good luck.
Coming up tomorrow on KOMU 8 News Today.
A summit today will look at community-based solutions for a problem the nation's been dealing with since the 60s or even longer.
Plus, kids of all ages get a chance to climb and learn at the Columbia Mall during an annual event.
And we have more storms in store for your Wednesday. I'll have a breakdown of those.
President Obama is reportedly finalizing travel plans to visit Hiroshima after the G7 summit in May. It would be the first visit by a sitting president to the city that was devastated by an atomic bomb in 1945. Sources say the president will speak to survivors. The president once received a Nobel Peace Prize for calling for a nuclear-free world.
A crowd flocked to central Baghdad today ahead of scheduled parliament session. The gatherers are followers of a Shiite cleric and are pressing for a vote on a new government and protesting what they say is rampant corruption. Security blocked roads using razor wire and concrete blocks. Protesters have been holding a sit-in for 2 weeks, snarling traffic in huge parts of the Iraqi capital. Big Ben's tick-tock will stop for a few months as London's famous clock is getting ready for a 3-year, $42 million makeover next year. As a result, the bell will go silent during repairs. Usually it rings as each hour strikes. Repairs include fixing cracks in the Great Bell, adding an elevator, and even installing a toilet in the tower.
Water pollution in Rio is causing serious safety concerns for the Summer Olympic Games. Rio was selected to host the Olympics back in 2009. The country promised to clean up its water at that time. A nearby bay is still so dirty, scientists warn contact with the water could lead to serious bacterial infections. Refrigerators, couches, and even corpses have been found in the water. Cleanup remains a huge issue for the Games, which begin August 5th.
Missouri baseball looks to stop a 7-game losing streak. We'll tell you more next in sports.
Hi, everyone. April has not been a kind month to the Missouri baseball team. The Tigers had lost 7 in a row, including a 16-1 thrashing by Missouri State 2 weeks ago in Springfield. Tonight, the rematch between the Tigers and Bears in Columbia, and Missouri's Cole Bartlett made a strong start. Here he gets Matt Fultz swinging. And then again in the 5th inning, another strikeout. 5 innings, just 1 earned run and 2 hits allowed by Bartlett. Meanwhile, Missouri's bats got going tonight. Marquise Doherty, also a member of the Tiger football team, drives in a run. Then it's the Rockbridge graduate, freshman Connor Brumfield with a base hit to send home 2 more. The Tigers up 3-0, and Missouri would pour it on. Who can blame the Tigers after a 15-run loss to the Bears? Missouri almost turned the tables exactly on Missouri State. That was Shane Bennis with a home run. Zach Levy also homered. The Tigers scored their highest run total of the year, 17-9, the final, as Mizzou beats Missouri State. The Tiger baseball team does own the worst conference record in the SEC. The Mizzou football and men's basketball teams also had the worst conference records in their sports, all within Mack Rhodes' first year as athletic director. Tomorrow marks Rhodes' 1-year anniversary. He hired Barry Odom to coach football after Gary Pinkel resigned for health reasons. Rhodes says he will evaluate baseball with Coach Tim Jamieson after the season. Basketball coach Kim Anderson returns for a 3rd season, but Rhodes is certainly looking for progress.
People understand this, and maybe not certainly all of the detail, but really inherited a tough, difficult situation. Now, those can't be excuses. We've got to figure out how we right that ship and get it going in the right direction. And we're going to be in the trenches with Coach, help him every way he can. Coach Anderson, he's a really good coach. He's won before. We've got to provide the right support, and we've talked about it. Here at the end of next year, we've got to feel like the program is not still 3, 4, 5 years away from being successful.
Rhodes says he is concerned about all the transfers leaving the Missouri program, but noted it's an epidemic nationwide with 800 transfers this offseason in college basketball. Rhodes also added that donations to the athletic department from January until now are up from the same period a year ago, but acknowledged football season ticket sales are down with about a 75% renewal rate after a losing season and the football team's boycott, resulting in the resignation of University System President Tim Wolf. Rhodes says he has learned a lot about crisis management in his first year at Missouri. The Cardinals sent Carlos Martinez 3-0 to the Hill in Arizona against former Cardinal Shelby Miller, now pitching for the Diamondbacks. Chase Field in Phoenix, where the D-backs won the series opener Monday night 12-7 over the Redbirds. Throughout the first half of the game, the pitchers were in complete command. Shelby Miller, looking for his first win of the year, gets the fly ball out there into shallow left field. Then it's Carlos Martinez looking to go 4-0, recording a fly ball out of his own into shallow right field as Jed Jerko puts it away. But in the 5th inning, the Cardinals finally break through against Miller with 5 runs. Moments ago, Brandon Moss hammered a 3-run homer, and suddenly, after scoreless 4 innings, it's 5-zip Cards as they've moved to the 6th inning. Royals out in Anaheim to play the Angels. Edinson Volquez on the hill for KC. Royals up 1-zip in the 2nd when Gerard Dyson doubles in a run. KC had doubled its lead at 2-0. Bottom of the 2nd, though, the Angels' Mike Trout singles through the right side to drive in 2. That gives the Angels a 3-2 lead, and they were looking for more with former Cardinal Albert Pujols at bat, but look at this catch by Alex Gordon. How many times does he make plays like this? That's why he's a Gold Glover. What a play. Angels lead the Royals now 3-2 in the 4th. High school baseball, Hallsville and Battle. Battle beat Hallsville 7-zip earlier this year. Lane Threlkeld on the mound for the Battle Spartans. Bottom of the 5th inning, Battle up 1-zip with the bases loaded and 1 out, but Hallsville turns the double play to get out of the inning. It went to an extra inning. In the bottom half of the 8th, ballgame tied at 1. Matt Page gets this one past the shortstop for the game winner. Battle beats Hallsville in a closer contest this time, 2-1. And that's sports.
Chris, thank you very much. At work, bosses usually want the employees to stay seated in their office chairs.
But one town is taking their seats to the streets. That's coming up.
Okay, take a look at this. This is in Taiwan. That guy is moving. This is the office chair race. The length of the course ranges from 30 meters to 180 meters. That guy went off the track. It's known as the Grand Prix, and 99 teams took part in the office desk chase.
They are moving. We invite you to watch Town Square on KOMU 8 News this Thursday at noon. We'll focus on the Religious Freedom Resolution. Hundreds of you, our viewers, took our survey and you had a lot to say. We'll bring you some of the stories you shared with us, plus answer some of your questions. So stay tuned to Town Square this Thursday on KOMU 8 News at noon. Be sure to tune in for KOMU 8 News today. Starting tomorrow morning at 4:30, we'll have the very latest details on tonight's possible double homicide investigation.
Tim will be looking at possible severe weather. Speaking of which, let's send it over to Kenton.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Look